Hello and welcome to Fit to Box channel, and today I've got a review of these fighting sports boxing gloves. These are the S2 Gel Power training gloves. Okay, and they are made by Fighting Sports, as I say, which I think are actually made by Title. These particular gloves are 18 ounce. But I'll come on to that later. They're sort of leather, and then they've got some sort of synthetic parts to the glove as well that add to the whole construction. These come in black and white, which is these, and they also come in white and black. So white where the black is and black where the white is. So complete reverse of these colours. You can get them in 12 ounce, 14 ounce, 16 ounce and 18 ounce. And they're training gloves is what it says, which infers that they're actually more of a bag glove than an actual sparring glove. And I must admit, as we do the review now, you'll find out that I do agree with that. So let's just come on to the actual review, and we've got brand. Brand, I have said before that this brand, it's almost like a little copy of the winning colours and the way it's done, and I know that some people do think that even that these two companies are connected because of the similarity in the logo, but that's not the case. Totally two separate companies. These Fighting Sports are nothing to do with winning, but I do think that that is a deliberate attempt to sort of a little sort of copy of the winning logo. Now, I have reviewed some Fighting Sports gloves before, and I have to say that these are a step above those particular gloves. If you remember, these were those gloves, and I was a bit critical of the length of the Velcro, which wraps round and round, so round once and then round again. So I was a bit critical of that because obviously how heavy that is in comparison to the rest of the glove, and I was also a bit how far that hung down. I was a bit critical of that as well. So these are a much better glove than these. So Fighting Sports are sort of improving their products from what I can see. In terms of style, I think Fighting Sports, one thing that they do well is there's a nice use of badges on what they do. Nice use of logos and little sort of bits of sort of wording that they put on, and they do some nice looking stuff. When it comes to the actual thumb on the glove, as you can see there, it looks short, and I have to say I think it is a little short. It's not super uncomfortable, but I have got gloves that have got a longer thumb than that. It is, however, well padded, and then you've got that actual attachment there, which is a nice attachment. It's a nice thick leather attachment, keeping that thumb attached to that glove there. Then we come to the face of the glove, and across there you've got a nice fighting across the soft grip bar, which is there. That's a nice touch, I do like that. The leather palm, as you can see, is perforated with air holes, again just adding to the airing of the gloves. And then there you have got a piece of elastic right in the middle there to stop the actual face of the glove gaping open. Now, you can't open these gloves as much as I normally like. As you can see from that, you can a little bit, but not loads. Certainly not as much as you could say in a winning glove. When it comes to the wrist, you've got a nice strap there. It's about 3 inches, that Velcro strap. It's a shade wider than that, but there you go. You've got that plasticky type badge on there for the Fighting Sports. And then, as you can see, when it's actually done up, this is what it looks like when it's actually done up. And of course that is from the front there and from the back. On there you've got a nice bit of padding at the back there, and on there it says S2 system or S squared, I think that would be, if I remember back to my maths days. So that's the actual wrist. So quite a decent wrist on them. Bit of a plasticky badge, but apart from that, that's okay. Then we come on to performance on the bag. Now, I would say that these are an excellent heavy bag glove. In sparring, I did use them in sparring for a good few rounds. They were good, but for me, the fact you can't open your hand as much means that I would prefer to use these as a bag glove rather than for my sparring. In terms of comfort, they are a very comfortable glove, a little warm inside, but the ventilation holes do help. And this glove does also accommodate the larger hands as well. I did mention about obviously that thumb being a little bit short for me. I did say that it wasn't uncomfortable, and it's not uncomfortable, but I have, as I say, I have got gloves where I've got a longer thumb, but the rest of the actual hand, there is plenty of room in there for larger hands. In terms of stitching, I'll show you the stitching there and all the way around there, and you can see just that thumb bit there and there. So you can see it's a good stitching on there. It's a well-made glove. A combination of the leather and the synthetic. I do think that these would last you a long time if you was using them on the bag. These have actually been used, this particular pair have been used for a year. Okay, so that's about 3 times a week for about half an hour each time. So you can see they don't look touched at all, really. They're in really good condition. In saying that, the guy that owns them, he does uses obviously the deodorizers inside. He airs them out and he wipes them over. So he does look after his gloves, as do I. And I think that's what you should do with all your equipment. I do see lads at the gym, and they have Claytorier's gloves, and before you know it, they're like chucking them on the floor, and they wonder why the badge comes off and the scuffing on them, and they don't last as long as perhaps could. But if you look after a good pair of gloves, they will last you and last you. In terms of the protection on there, so what you've got is you've got 3 inner foams in there. You've got the S2 or the S squared gel technology. You've also got a high density impact absorbing foam, and you've also got something called a K-329 sponge comfort foam as well in there. And I have to say, it is very good protection on those knuckles and good protection on the wrist as well. So these gloves are actually, as I said earlier, these are 18 ounce. They don't feel like 18 ounce, so I actually weighed them, and they actually come in at 16 ounce. The one comes in at 16 ounces and one comes in at 16 ounces and 3/4. So although they are advertised and sold as 18 ounce, these are actually a 16 ounce glove. Now, when I was sparring, they felt really light on my hands, certainly didn't feel like an 18 ounce glove, and when I put them side by side with my training partner's 14 ounce winning, they were a very similar size and shape. Okay, so just be aware of that, because I would imagine that if you was to get these in, say, at 14, they might be quite small if you've got larger hands, whereby these are 18 ounce and they fit fine, but just want to point that out to you. Now, in terms of cost, these gloves currently £145 at Sugar Ray's. I would say that they're not worth 145. I would say they're worth more like, say, 110, 120, especially as the fact that, you know, to me they are more of a bag glove than an all-round glove. As you know, I like to have a separate pair of bag gloves to my sparring gloves, so it wouldn't affect me too much because I'd just have these as a pair of bag gloves. But as I say, £145, brand new from Sugar Ray's. A little overpriced, I would say. I think there's better gloves for that price on the market. But in saying that, Fighting Sports, I think they've upped their game. These gloves are a definite improvement on the previous gloves that I tried for fighting sports, so I have to acknowledge that. But what I will say to you is, if you are looking for a hard-wearing, good bag glove, then this is a good choice for you. So I hope you enjoyed that little review there. Please like and subscribe to Fit to Box channel, and spread the word. Tell your friends, and show your mates what sort of quality videos that I'm putting up for you. I'm getting a load of great feedback from you guys about the videos, and that's really pleasing to hear. So if it's helping you, that is exactly what I want to do. So hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe, and I shall speak to you soon.